Here's the thing, the more structure you have when pressing record and creating content for the internet, the more you preconceive the headlines, the thumbnails, the topics that you're going to talk about, the more valuable the content can be to the audience. If I'm going to operate in making really good content, if I'm going to grow the show, I need to be able to decrease is what I'm looking for, the time from recording to publishing, because that allows me to jump on what I would call headline content, meaning what's happening on the screens, right? You know, on your cell phone or on your TV or on YouTube. There's things that happen in our culture that if we can get to a faster pace of record and release, then I can jump on the existing trends that are happening in the marketplace at the speed at which the pros are doing it. Now, I say the pros, Flagrant 2, Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss doesn't really do that same way. Joe Rogan, for example. There's so many shows out there that are built on the news in some capacity. They're talking about YouTube drama. They're talking about what's going on in our culture, what the president said, or what is happening in everyday life that's relevant to you right here and right now. But headline content, just like a wave in the ocean, and you're the surfer, right? The content creator being the surfer. If the wave is coming and you kind of release that content after the wave has hit the shore, it is no longer that relevant any longer. And so it's good, and you could still gain some traction on the algorithms, you could still gain some growth, but there's without a doubt a benefit to having speedy production. And so this entire studio, this entire show is designed, ladies and gentlemen, to bring you relevant information that's valuable to you and bring in the filter of what this show is about. And I've been thinking a lot about what this show is about, and been thinking a lot about what I really care about, what I'm really doing for a living. And without a doubt, the show is about storytelling. And what the fuck does that mean, Marc Angelo? I know that's what you're thinking. Well, storytelling to me is the process by which you create content as a creator. So I consider myself a creator. I'm also an entrepreneur. How are the things that are the headlines that are going out onto the world, the help videos that you watch on YouTube, the podcasts that you listen to, how are they being made? What does the sausage look like when you are actually making the sausage and showing that process in multiple different ways? So storytelling is the chief component of what the show is about. Now, for sure, I also want to bring on amazing guests, amazing people. There's reasons for that. One, I'm selfish. I'm selfish because I love speaking to amazing people, and I love speaking to creators. I love speaking to entrepreneurs. I love speaking to people who are doing badass shit in the planet. So that's the second purpose of the show, right? The show is to dissect what it's like to be them. What is interesting about what they're doing in the world? What is interesting about their job? Asking them questions that they're not used to answering, right? Getting them off script, essentially. And so the show is live in the sense that there's no cuts in this. It's just me blabbing. And hopefully you consider it to be a little bit more than me blabbing. Hopefully I have some interesting things to bring to your life. But it's just me talking about the things that I feel are relevant to me and relevant in our culture around us. And so those are those pillars. But I do want to bring in some more structure. Boo, structure, right? Here's the truth. There's a little bit of magic and structure, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the thing. The more structure you have when pressing record and creating content for the internet, the more you preconceive the headlines, the thumbnails, the topics that you're going to talk about, the more valuable the content can be to the audience. And so I plan on using this stage and doing more solo casts. And I say solo casts, Kyler will be here. He'll still be participating, right? Like he'll still be grilling me every once in a while. But the truth is that as I can do these solo casts, or even with the guest here, if I can break off into segments where I cover financial news, where I cover a microdose of a topic, where something I was researching this week that I went super deep on. Like this week, I researched a little bit about something called mobile coin. It's a cryptocurrency. It's going to be used apparently in conjunction with Signal, the chat app, the privacy, the really well championed privacy chat app that's kind of, I guess, a competitor to WhatsApp or, in line with Telegram. They're apparently going to be rolling out a system for exchanging money through their chat app. And so I did a little bit of research, realized that coin was undervalued, shared it out to my text-based community where I share stock tips and advice and all the time and all those different things. And by the way, the link to that will be down in the description down below. If you want to join that community, you can text me. Maybe the number pops up here, maybe it doesn't. But either way, the link is down below. And the fact that I did that literally a week ago, I made that investment, I told my community, and now today it is 6x'd in value. So I want to be able to bring that small little piece of information, that segment, to a screen near you. And I want to do that in a way that's powerful, in a way that is timely, in a way that kind of allows you in on my process and the stories and the things that are around me, right? So I get to figure out what that looks like going forward. I don't really know. I definitely know there's some segments that I want to do, and I'm not going to share them all here today. But for sure, there was going to be a financial segment. For sure, there's going to be micro doses. So deep dives, but short deep dives into very interesting topics. And the other thing I want to do is revolutionize the way that I go after and create headlines, and also the format of the content that I'm putting out. Because the way that we've been putting it out online is pretty decent. I mean, we're really focused on growing YouTube. That's my number one chief goal. I think YouTube is the best platform because it has intent, and people use it to discover the news and dive deeper into topics. And a podcast is by definition a deeper way of going about things, right? Like you watch a podcast, Kyler, you use a podcast as a way of learning about real topics, not just about self-discovery on you're not just scrolling on Instagram the way you normally would, right? So, I mean, why do you watch podcasts, really?
100%. Like, I'm so into self-development. I'm so into bettering myself. As I get older, I'm realizing how much I don't know in life. Mm-hmm. And I get attached to these people and start to get into their lives. And it's a way for them to share and get deep into one particular topic. And some of it is entertaining. Sometimes I do just like stumble across something entertaining, but the intent, like you just said, is always about, I want to learn something. If it's about videography, business, marketing, it's always a concept that dives me even deeper into it. And then finding new discoveries and new loves and new passions. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. But to your point, YouTube is like, it recommends certain things to you. It's just like podcasts on another level.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah. I mean, one thing that I hear in that, and this is the key word, is learning. What Superhero Academy is about as a podcast, but also as an online school, what it's about is about learning. And so I don't want to make the pretty reel that's making some, jumping on some trend that happened on TikTok. That's really not the kind of content I want to bring to you. There's enough of that online, and it's great, and it's viral, and it has a lot of legs, and we are going to break that down. That's what we're going to do. We're going to break that down. Break it down into segments that you can understand and hit a different format. Now, for example, on Instagram Reels perform better in the algorithms than IGTVs do. And IGTVs, the way I've been doing it and uploading them, I've been doing them 16:9. And then you can click the little button and go, see the whole screen and do that thing. I like that. That's fine, but we need to be able to take little pieces of those clips and make them a little bit more square or 4:5 or it's 9:16. And when I say 9:16, what I'm saying here is vertical. This podcast is going to go more vertical in format. And so that adjustment is something I want to expose myself on because I've been doing this pretty good, and I feel like I've gotten the podcast up to like maybe 70% of where it can get to. But now, if I can add a little bit more structure, I think we can do a lot better.